Alright you guys, that's how my starter looks this morning. Good morning guys. I am gonna start a series of sourdough starters for you guys. So, well, a single starter. We're gonna work on a single starter together. I had received some requests after sharing my sourdough breads that how do you start a starter? Lots of questions about that. So I'm going to show you guys how to start a starter. Isn't that exciting? So the things that you'll need is a glass jar, a scale, just a regular food scale that you can get for like 14 bucks on Amazon or Walmart or wherever you prefer to shop. You're going to need some filtered water and any kind of flour you wish. I have seen in the past this works better with whole wheat or rye, but I am just going to use all-purpose unbleached. It is important if you're going to use flour that it doesn't have any bleaching agents or anything like that. That's best for your bread as well as your starters. Okay, so we're going to start out. Best to have a jar that is at least 12 ounces. This one is 24. And I have a plastic lid for this jar that during this process I will just set it on. I won't close or put that lid on tight. So we have our jar and our scale is zeroed out. Now we're just gonna put 50 grams of flour in here. Oh, so you can do 50 grams of flour, or if you don't have a scale, do half a cup of flour, okay? Okay, so I went a little bit over. Now when you're first starting out and your starter is very young, try to get those exact measurements. And if you're not using a scale, level off those scoops, okay guys? Okay, there's our 50 grams. Okay, now we want 1/4 cup water or 50 grams of, this is filtered water. Now this was a big game changer. I was trying to start starter and it wouldn't work for me. As soon as I turned to filtered water, it changed everything for me. So for the water, and now we're going with 50 grams water, or 1/4. Okay. Now we're going to stir this up. And it should be the consistency of just barely wet. Well, barely wet. I'll bring you guys in closer so you can see my consistency after I stir it up. Now after we get this all stirred up, guys, you want to keep it in an area between 65 degrees and 77 degrees in your house. Okay. So we have that all mixed up. I scrape off my spoon. I put it in there. Of that. You don't have to stir forever. That's how it looks. And a good place to keep it is either on your fridge, because that's a warmer place if you have a cold house. I put it in, I might keep this one on my fridge, but I usually put it in my microwave, because that gets heated up every once in a while. It's nice and dark in there most of the day, so you want it in a nice dark place. So day number 2. So yesterday we started our starter. We gave it 50 grams of water and 50 grams of lukewarm filtered water, remember that, and 50 grams of flour. And I already have one bubble or a couple bubbles in there already. So that means it's starting to be active already. Okay, so we're gonna do again today the same thing. 50 grams of sourdough starter to 50 grams of water. I have my water in the microwave ready for me. I take it out of the fridge cold, so I zap it for like 30 seconds, and that brings it into a temperature of like 90 degrees. Or a baby bottle, basically, is what you're looking for, that temperature that you can put on your wrist where the water just, you can feel warm. So guys, we're gonna start with our flour. And so it's 50 grams of flour or half a cup of flour. And so let's get on that. My water's done. So I have my scale here, I'm turning it on. And because my jar was already on top of my scale, it's already scratched, okay? If I was putting my jar on afterwards, I want to not scratch, but tear that weight. So we're gonna slowly add our flour. That is 35. Now, if I was using a measuring, or if I was just measuring half a cup, I would make sure that I had a half cup container and then scrape that off flat, okay? So right now I'm at 44. Just a gram off. It's okay to be a couple grams over, but you really don't want to be under, okay? Okay, and then I'm going to tare my scale again. Now I need 50 grams of water, or 1/4 cup water. Take it off my scale, put my scale aside, give it a good stir. We want it to be a consistency of like a paste, guys. That is the best consistency for your sourdough starter, a paste, okay? A thick paste, or like pancake batter. Okay? And this is what it looks like inside. Now, this is where I really like to kind of keep the sides clean, scrape them down. And this is where a rubber band comes in handy, okay? Because we're going to start to look for it rising and falling, okay? And I will put my rubber band right at that line where it's sitting at. And then, again, like before, I'm just going to set my lid on there, and I keep it in my microwave. Keep it in a warm, dark place. If you put it on your fridge, put a towel over it or something to keep it dark. Okay? And that is it for day 2. Thank you for coming along with me today. See you guys tomorrow when we're on day 3. Good morning. We are on day 3. And today, this is the first time that we're going to discard half of our, wow, this is amazing. It already smells like sourdough. Look at that. So, okay guys, so day number 3. What we're going to do is I'm going to put all of my starter into this bowl. And I'm weighing the starter as I do that, because I'm going to toss half of it. There's all kinds of recipes you guys can do with starters. There's sourdough pancakes, sourdough everything. Okay. I'm going to zero out my, let's do this on grams. Okay, that's half of my starter. Actually, I only want 50 grams of starter. It's showing me 88. So let's do this. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to tare my scale again. And I'm going to tare it with this thing on it. So I don't want that to count. And I'm going to add 50 grams of flour. Or 1/2 cup of flour. But make sure you have that leveled off, okay guys? There's 50 grams of flour. And perfect. 50 grams of water, filtered water, and or 1/4. You tare your scale in between. There we go. I have to wash that since I put the water through it. And then we just mix it up. Okay, there we go. I have my rubber band on the line so that I can see when it rises. We're starting to look for rises and falls with our sourdough starter. Now, I could totally make pancakes or something fun out of here. You can find a lot of recipes on the internet of what to do with your starter. You do not have to toss this. So it's just a good to know. I have a video coming out in a couple of days about how to put shelf-safe starter on your shelf. So look for that. And this, you guys can do this. You can make your own starter. It's very easy. And later on, then you can put it, you know, save it for emergencies or backup starter, you know, that you can get going again. And I'll, you know, show you that one through the shelf stable starter. And so you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the next video tomorrow brings. And by the time you guys go through each day, that video will be out. So I'm going to do 3 days at a time. So in 3 more days, if you go through this every day, I will be there in 3 days with my next video. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful day, and God bless.